Welcome to the Eagle Valley Model Railroad. In this video I'm going to talk through the process of how I make my track bumpers. And I'm actually using some leftover material from the crane that we bought for the chip mill. And this particular crane came with some palletized loads that can be used with the crane, and because we're using the crane to lift raw material, we don't need those pallets. So the material that came with it are actually 3/32 by 3/32 by 1 inch long. So we took two of the whole pieces, and then we took one piece and cut it a little bit less than in half, just enough so it'll fit between the rails on our track, and we glue that into this frame. Nothing fancy, it don't have to be perfect. So then we take another whole piece and cut it in half, and then on one of our whole pieces we cut a slight angle on the end. And it creates one of our side pieces. And then basically what we do is we'll glue the rectangle framework and the side piece together. And that creates the base design for the bumper itself. Now for the actual stop, the kit also comes with 3-dimensional locks. And all we did was cut these in half and then split them in half. And that gives us a piece of material that looked like this. And then all we do is glue that to the front face of our framework here. And this is what we come up with. It actually fits between not just the rails, but it actually fits between the track clamps. So it'll actually glue to the ties themselves, which makes it real nice. It gives it a good surface to glue to. And just by happy accident, the 1/2-inch risers on this sitting on the ties, that bumper actually matches where the coupler hits. So the main body of the coupler hits our bumper stop. We are going to paint the framework black, and we'll paint the bumper itself yellow. So I get one of these painted up and we'll install one on the layout. Alright guys, so we've got one painted up like we want it. So our next step is to actually install it on the layout. So let's head that way. Alright, so what we have here is our lift out section, and this is over at the scrap yard. So all we've done is we've removed some of the clay material from the track to expose the ties. I like using the super glue for this just because it sets up a little quicker, and this stuff holds really well. We're going to place the glue on the very bottom and just set it right here in place. I mean, it's as simple as that. Had to dig out a little bit just to get it to fit in a little hole like I want it and sit just like I like it. But that's basically what we're going to do here. So with this gel, you apply a good amount across the bottom of the bumper, because we are going to add some scenery around this. Because again, this is a scrap yard, and may not be the most well maintained track bumper. So basically just get it in place, make sure it's lined up like you want it to the track, and let it dry. Alright, so we've given the glue some time to dry, and it's set up pretty good. And I'll show you how this thing lines up. So what we're going to do now to finish this off is we're going to take some of our clay that we've processed, and basically processing it, we've put it through 2 different size sifters and got to the material size that we want. We're basically just going to put it around the track bumper and pile it up. And this just basically simulates that it's been here a while and it really hadn't been cleaned out around too much. Plus this goes back to the construction of the bumper. If it's not perfectly squared and you got parts and pieces that are just not quite perfect, this will cover it up. So all we have here is a good size paintbrush, and we're just moving this material enough and moving it around enough to get it exactly where we want it, and get rid of anything that we don't feel like fits into this scene. So that looks like a good pile of just stuff around it. Some good dirt, like it's been there a little while. We'll brush back the rails. You ain't got to go all the way back to it just because of the distance from the coupler to the wheels. But I think I like that right there. Alright, now we're going to set this in place, and we're going to use our water alcohol mix. Just get this good and wet. And then we'll take our half and half mix of white glue and water and give this a good saturation. Just come all the way around all over here. And if it gets on that, it'll be just fine. It ain't gonna hurt a thing. We'll let that dry and see how it looks. Thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, subscribe, and until next time, happy modeling.